Yes, sir. I'm a bit of an over-preparer, if I say
No,
so.
I respect that.
Mr. Riordan, my name is Mason, first off, and
great to
I just
meet
want to
you.
thank you. It is amazing to meet you. It is an honor. I just want to say that I appreciate you taking time out of what I'm sure is a very busy day for you
Looking forward
to have
to
this
it.
interview with me. And
Yeah,
if it's all right with you, with respect to your time, I don't want to waste a second of it.
Sure, where would you like me to sit?
If you could sit right here, if that works for
Absolutely.
you, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
back up the ring light, and then you've got the microphone there.
got
I'm sure
it.
you've had enough of those today.
Yeah, all good.
It's got a physical clip and a magnet, if you'd like to
Okay.
use that.
So,
Yes, yes. Yeah, TikTok, YouTube,
Sure.
the like. All right. So, have my notes jotted here.
Yeah, no worries.
So,
So you're rolling already?
yes, sir.
Okay,
Already
cool.
rolling. Already
All right,
rolling.
good
Thank
deal.
you. Fans of your books have been hyper analyzing Percy Jackson and his friends for the last 20 years at this point. Was there ever a moment when a fan pointed something out to you that made you take a step back and think to yourself, I definitely didn't do that on purpose, but if it works, take it and run with it?
Great comment. Absolutely true. Hyperanalyzing. Yes. I'm a hyperanalyzer myself by nature, so I get that. I respect that. Yeah, absolutely all the time. Somebody pointed out to me in the early days that Rachel Elizabeth Dare, the character, her initials are Red, R-E-D. Did I do that on purpose because she has red hair? I absolutely did not do that on purpose, but I wish I did because it makes sense.
There you go. Roll with it. Those middle grade readers, they keep you on your toes. It's always like the 13 or 14-year-old. It's one of my favorite parts about being in this fandom. And while we're on the topic of those did I's or didn't I's on purpose, apologize. You have seen 20 years of success with Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Looking back, is there anything that you would have done differently? And are any of those would-be maybe changes something that fans of the show and fans of the books can look forward to experiencing together for the very first time?
It's a great question. I mean, honestly, I think you just do the best you can to write a book at the time that you write it with the skills that you have at the time. So if I were to write, say, The Lightning Thief starting today, it would be a totally different book because I'm a totally different person and the world is different than it was 20 years ago. And I think that's the way it should be. So yes, everything would be different. And looking back, I often think, ooh, I'm not sure, I don't know if I would do that today. But that is the beauty of, for instance, the television series, is I do, in a way, get a do-over. I get to talk to the producers and the actors and the screenwriters and say, I've been thinking about this and I wonder, I'll give you a for instance, Medusa. In the original books, she's basically a villain, a monster, the way she is in the myths. But I think there's a lot more to her story than that. So we decided to explore that in the first season. It's like, isn't Medusa also a survivor of abuse? And shouldn't we look at that and kind of, address that? And so that was a really nice and gratifying thing to be able to do. And we do something similar with Circe in the second season. So that's just an example.
All right, thank you. I think we can speak. I think I can speak for everyone when I say we will be on the edge of our seats, just thrilled to see what you guys have in store for us. Because I know season 1 was packed full of things that just blew me away.
Oh, awesome!
Personally, and now the event of the day, 20 years of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Looking back at everything you've built to be here, the books written, the shows produced, millions of children all over the world inspired, just milestone after milestone, millions of people all over the world looking at you and your story, your books as something truly remarkable, truly beautiful. Was there a moment for you where you took a step back, looked at the mountains you climbed, and thought to yourself, this is it. I have done something incredible, created something beautiful.
Wow, just hearing you describe it that way, my first reaction was I started to feel nervous for myself. Oh gosh, oh no. And then I started to feel really tired, like, wow, that's a long time, I need to take a nap. But setting that aside, it's weird, because it has been 20 years, but I've had to take it just one day at a time and go from experience to experience. So honestly, I'm not sure I've ever had a moment where I could just sort of step back from it and say, okay, what just happened? Where am I? I don't know that I've had that moment yet. Maybe one of these days, if I ever slow down, I don't know, I will do that. But it has been cumulative, and it kind of sneaks up on me. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years. Yeah. To me, it seems like it's just been a series of really incredible, sometimes bizarre, sometimes unbelievable events happening one after the other that have kind of accumulated and become the whole experience.
I'm not sure how to respond. I apologize.
No worries.
Hearing you say that you take it day by day, one day at a time, seeing from the fans' perspective, I think what we all want to just say to you is thank you. Thank you for building something that brought such an amazing community of people together. You and your family have, I don't know if you realize it, a huge family of other people that are just your biggest fans. They are always rooting for you in that day to day, and I hope you know that. And I hope we are grateful for hope you know that we are grateful for everything.
And no, I really appreciate that. I sometimes can lose track of that, so I'm really glad you said that, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Now, I hope you don't mind if I step us in a bit of a sillier direction here. But with Percy now shining in the Disney spotlight kind of more than ever before. Yes, he's always been a staple for Disney Publishing and Disney Hyperion, but now with him being on Disney Plus, being a multiple award-winning character and franchise, he's got a lot of Disney cousins roaming around out there. Are there any Disney characters that you would love to see Percy cross paths with, given the chance?
Oh, gosh. I can certainly imagine how that would be. It's a little frightening to think of him crossing paths with some Disney characters. I don't know. I mean, honestly, most of my Disney experience has been the animated films. Mm-hmm. And so we have a lot of conversations about where Percy can fit into Disney as a larger kind of ecosystem. Mm-hmm. But it's always kind of tricky because I think of comparisons animated.
Yeah.
So I guess there are two possible ways to go with that. Mm-hmm. One would be, is there a world in which we look at animating Percy content, which I would love to see. Nothing specific or solid about that yet, but we've certainly had conversations about it. Or are there crossover possibilities where one series could lead into another? And again, I think that'd be really exciting. But in terms of making that happen, I think we're still early days. I think everybody is still kind of sort of wrapping their minds around where we are with the original series, the TV show now, and it's starting to, I think, become obvious to people that, oh wow, okay, this is really doing well. What other conversations can we have? What else can we do? So we're having those conversations, but as with anything creative, with whether it be books or TV or film, it can take a long time before that finally gets into development.
All right. I have just a quick offshoot question, because you mentioned animating Percy, and I know that a lot of people out there have also been rooting for various animated Percy Jackson mediums. Is there anybody within the Disney family known for animation that you, if given the opportunity, you would love to see work with Percy? Are we looking towards Dan Povenmire and the Phineas and Ferb crew, or maybe the folks over at Marvel Animation that have given us projects like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and X-Men '97?
Yeah, I don't. I would hate to pick out one person and not mention the others because there are so many talented animators out there, and again, honestly, it's not my field, and so I'm not an expert. But I can see certainly any of the things you just mentioned. I can see it going all kinds of different directions. It's a very exciting possibility. Now, what it'll end up looking like, what the content will be, I don't know.
All right, well, I think I have a few more here for you. Here we go. The original 5 Percy Jackson books. I know you're not supposed to pick your favorite kids, but if you had a favorite out of the 5, do you think, like, what do you think that favorite out of the original 5 would be?
No, I actually do have a favorite. My favorite is the Battle of the Labyrinth.
Okay.
And I think that is probably partly because of where I was in the writing process. By the time the 4th book came around, I was starting to feel like, okay, this series might actually succeed. It's like the first 3 books. The first one I had no idea. It wasn't really until The Sea of Monsters came out as a paperback that it got on the first bestseller list. And even then I was like, I don't know. Titan's Curse, that hit the bestseller list right away. And then I was like, okay, I'm writing the 4th book. I'm feeling pretty good. This might actually be my day job now. So there was that. But also I just love the premise of this huge maze that's under the entirety of civilization. That is one of my favorite things.
That's awesome. Now, I do have to ask, you've let us know your favorite book. Do you think, obviously we aren't in Battle of the Labyrinth anywhere near that yet, unless there's something I don't know, but do you think as the show and the seasons continue to be produced and move forward, do you imagine your favorite season of the show will feature a different book than your favorite novel?
It's a great question and impossible to answer, until we have them. And fingers crossed we will. That is, I think, everybody's hope who's involved in the show. Everyone is well aware that the hope, the goal, is to try to get all 5 books adapted into 5 seasons. And that alone would be an enormous task and a huge win. There are not many TV shows these days that last for 5 seasons. So we will hope. Everybody is hopeful that the viewership will continue to increase. We're certainly off to a great start, so we will see.
With as many Emmy nominations as you guys have had and Emmy wins that you've had, I think that it's safe to agree. Multiple Disney Plus streaming records broken, awards won out the wazoo, pardon my, crude, but what was that like, seeing that happen? Seeing not just the success of, the young actors, Miss Leah Savay-Jeffries, Mr. Walker Scobell, Mr. Aryan Simhadri, seeing all the success of these young actors and of the series itself.
Yeah, it's sort of next level surreal. I am so happy for the actors because I know how hard they have worked. I could not have done that when I was their age. There is no way I would have the fortitude, the focus, the maturity that those young actors have. They're incredible. They are such pros. And I'm delighted for them. They deserve every bit of that success. And I'm delighted for everybody who worked on the series. It's incredible.
It truly is. It truly is. Seeing the work that they've put in. I've heard, fans have heard, may not have heard, about a certain quarter-mile chariot track being built, and not just traditional chariots drawn by horses, but motorized chariots. What was the energy on set giving the literal reins over to a cast of kids, most of whom are not the legal age to drive?
Well, now, remember, they have safety regulations that are very strict, and so they would, the actors were only used for the things that made sense. And obviously there were stunt actors and stunt drivers and horses. You don't want to mess around with them. You want to make sure everybody's safe, and everybody was. But yes, when you look at the final footage, you wouldn't necessarily know that. You would look at that and say, oh my goodness, there's 12-year-olds driving, chariots with razor blades on the wheels. What in the world? It looks very dangerous. You're right. But yes, I think the adrenaline on that racetrack was very high.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure. Curiosity. Were there any parents on set watching their kids get behind? Again, the reins. Yeah. What was that like?
Absolutely. I mean, the parents of any of the actors that are underage, they have to be, at least one parent has to be with them at all times. So the parents are incredibly supportive, and they're great, and we are there to make sure that we're looking out for the kids and that everybody's happy and safe and getting the support they need. But at the same time, they're having a great time. I mean, those kids, what a job, right? To be able to do that, to do some of those stunts. So yes, the parents were there and never would do anything that the parents weren't comfortable with. The kids, however, they would, be happy to do that all day long, I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, curious as to where I want to go from here. I apologize. This interview has run longer than I thought it was. I hadn't planned for to go this far. All right, here we go. Here's one that I have highlighted. Percy Jackson versus insert name here has been a hot topic of debate since this series began. Again, 20 years ago, you had a 12-year-old boy defeat the god of war Ares in his first ever showdown. Is there a personal peak, a powerful of powerful across fiction that you think Percy might be able to handle himself?
Ooh, great question. I don't know that anyone's ever asked that. It's very hard to ask me a question no one has asked me before, and I think you did it. Wow. I can see Percy going up against some of the Marvel superheroes, for instance. I'm a big comic book fan. I would love to see what Percy could do against Spider-Man. I don't know who I'd put my money on there, but that would be really amazing to see.
Absolutely, it would, especially seeing some. Percy colloquially, has been dubbed Persassy many a time by the fandom.
True.
Spider-Man, another hero known for quipping his villains into submission. What do you think that conversation between the two of them might look like?
I think words would be exchanged. What those words would be, I don't want to hazard, but it would be a throwdown before anyone threw a punch or a web or a wave or anything.
All right, Mr. Riordan, I appreciate your time so much. I'm grateful for you making time. I'm grateful for this interview. It's an honor to meet you. You have been a personal hero of mine since I was 10 years old. I have been chasing book tours and meet and greets, just trying, and to meet you here of all places, it truly, truly is an honor.
Oh, honor's mine. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely.
Great and fantastic questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.